How many MCs must get dissed? All right, man. I want to talk about hip hop and where I think hip hop is going in the year 2021. New year for music. I grew up on hip hop since the 80s, sports since the 80s, and I want to talk about one of the things that hold dear to my heart, which is hip hop. Now, one of my most wanted albums of the year, from what I heard, is going to be the reunion of the Firm. So if you could get a reunion Firm album, you're talking about Nas, AZ, Cormega, who's originally supposed to be in the group, and Foxy Brown. You know, Foxy Brown still got some, her voice is a little bit different, but she still got some left in the tank to rap. AZ looked like he never lost the step. Nas never lost the step. And Mega, of course, Mega never lost the step with that street hip hop that he brings. So I would love to see a Firm reunion album. That's one of my most pumped up, anticipated albums that you could possibly come across. Or even if I can't get that, I would love to have an AZ and Nas album. I think that would have been great. If AZ could link up with Nas and they could just do a group album, that'd be something I'd be looking forward to. You know, as far for other guys, we got a whole year, 12 months of so-called albums coming out. I'm pretty sure Kanye West will be coming out with a new album. He made several quotes online that he would love to do another album with Jay-Z. I wouldn't mind that. Because if Jay-Z's there to put him in his place, I think they could produce a good album. So that's a good team album that I think could happen. I would love to see a Wu-Tang album. You know, for us older heads, we would love to see a Wu-Tang album come out. And you got to put out an APB on Kendrick Lamar, man. I would love to see him come out with an album this year, too. So I didn't heard Kendrick Lamar since the Black Panther soundtrack. And when he dropped that Black Panther soundtrack, he had songs like what's the King's Dead? Like he had that song on there. That was a pretty good song. You know, it's not my 100% cup of tea, but I like a song with Kendrick Lamar on it and has a good sense of humor. It was fun. You know, I could get down with the creativity of Kendrick Lamar because he reminds me of like a modern day Nas. You know, he's very creative. And Nas also is a fan of Kendrick Lamar. He thinks he's a good performer. So do I. So I could do another Kendrick Lamar album. You know, he did All the Stars with Homegirl, that the girl that he makes songs with. I think her name is like Caesar, something like that. But she always makes songs with Kendrick Lamar. And I think they both link up. They link up together. They make good chemistry when they do songs. And last year, we also see the end of The Game. You know, West Coast's own The Game. And I would love to see The Game make a comeback. I think, but this time, if he could come back, because we're talking about group albums, I love to see The Game do a group album with 50 Cent. Okay, I know it's kind of far out there. I may never get it. But if I could get a gangster, hate it or love it style hip-hop album with The Game and 50 Cent, I think it'd be a flat-out classic. It'd be Queens meets the West Coast. And you let Dr. Dre produce some beats, and it'd be a hot album. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that that'd be a great album. And I would love to see those guys get together and do an album like that. So I think that's something that on my wish list that I would love to see. You know, I would say I love to see a Mobb Deep album, but unfortunately P passed away. And, you know, Mobb Deep is my favorite group of all time. Right after them is Wu-Tang. You know, then from Wu-Tang you got the D-Block, the Locks, and all that stuff. And I would love to see Jadakiss, Cheek Luch, and Styles P come back with a group album for 2021. We need that gut of hip hop from them dudes. And one of my favorite groups, which is Griselda, they produced a lot of albums towards the end of the year, so I'm happy with that. But I think 2021 is going to be a great year for Griselda as they produce more albums. That's also going to be good. But the state of mind of hip hop for me is, it's not the same like it used to be. You know, you got a lot of these fun boy artists, these artists that, you know, make tracks that a lot of people can't relate to. You know, the Chicago rap scene with, you know, these dudes wearing, dudes with the dreadlocks wearing tight pants. It's not the type of hip hop that I like, So, like out of the new cats, I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Griselda. I like stuff like that. I like groups that make me think and give me that real hip hop that I'm looking for. Also, Busta Rhymes made an album towards the end of the year. I'm not a big Busta Rhymes fan, but from what I heard, a lot of people said the Busta Rhymes album was good. Nas made an album towards that mid 2020, and it was up for album of the year, which it should be. It's a great album, King's Disease. So if you haven't checked that out, you could go and check that Nas album out. And speaking of Nas, other than the Firm and the AZ and Nas album, I hope he could drop an album in 2021. It's always a breath of fresh air to see Nas drop an album, the GOAT of hip hop. Jay-Z, he could drop an album. That wouldn't be bad. So that'd be on my wish list too as well. And there's a lot of hip hop that I would like to see. I would like to see hip hop come back to its true original form, which is gutter hip hop. So that's my list of albums that I think should come out. That's my list of albums that I want to see come out. For the year 2021. I'm kind of pumped up. I have a great feeling that it's going to be a great year for hip hop because we're battling coronavirus. And we're also dealing with the fact that a lot of artists are going to have to get back to the lab to make good music because music is going to be in the state of decline with lack of sales. So you got to come out with your best material to get people back into music. And that's when it's going to be heartfelt a little more, So those albums I hope come out. You never know. Maybe we get like a West Coast Dr. Dre album because a lot of people love Dr. Dre on the West Coast, people in LA, but I would love to see that, Yeah, I can't stand trap beats neither, Bring back the boom bag rap. That's exactly what I want, Bring back that gutter, Black Moon, real hit the pavement type of New York rap music. I got a feeling it's going to go back to that a little bit because times are going, we're coming in a depression era. Times are going to be hard. People are going to be getting robbed. People are going to be having crimes did to them. And I hate to say stuff like that, but it's the truth. Crime is going to go up. So as crime goes up, hip hop is going to reflect or be a reflection, a mirror of what goes on in reality. And all that stuff is going to go up. So you're going to see a lot of people talk about the hard times. And I think that's what's going to happen when 2021 really blasts off. And I think a lot of guys are going to get their pen and pad and they're going to bring that real street hip hop back. And I'm kind of itching for it, something that we could get our minds off from coronavirus. Because this is January and we're already in coronavirus stages already. The politics in our office is a mess. Donald Trump, he messed stuff up enough as it is. And now they're talking about like doing a re-election because he think it was rigged. Dog, just admit you lost. People don't want to see you back in the front office anyway. Nobody wants to see Donald Trump back. So just take your loss like a man and leave, and let us get back, help the people. Bring some good music that we could feel and also, bring some power back to the people. And what I mean by that, give us that real stuff that we could feel. None of that fake boy, none of that glitz and glamour type of hip hop no more. Let's go back to the streets. Let's take it back home. For 2320, if you don't know me, my name is Prince Sports. I do a sports video. And I have a sports channel that I do videos on that's mainly on all types of sports, but this one is my hip hop channel. I happen to be from Queens, New York, same neighborhood as Nas, Mobb Deep. And, I come from that element of hip hop, back into the days when MC Shan was going up against KRS-One, stuff like that, So I'm old school with it. And I would like to see some of my favorite artists, and particularly from the 90s, make a comeback. Because some of them are still making music. One thing about music, man, it's forever. It lasts forever. And if you have a classic, it's always going to be with the people. There's always going to be something that people appreciate and people love. So that alone is something I want to see, you know. And let's see, my wish list for hip hop on 2021. Who else I like to see make a comeback? Um, like I said, unfortunately, Mobb Deep can't make a comeback because the Prodigy passed away. And but if they got some tracks from him that's unreleased, release those. You know, a lot of fans would love to see Prodigy have like one more album. You know, it's too bad because Prodigy's the type of dude that's always been in the studio making music. So you would think that he has a lot of music to offer and a lot of music to bring to the table. So I hope he has like an album that we could get in 2021. You know, because Mobb Deep without Prodigy is not Mobb Deep. You know, unfortunately, Havoc makes the beats. Prodigy was the dude with the lyrics, and I don't know what Mobb Deep going to do moving forward, man, because it's going to be hard for them. It's going to be hard for them to even stay relevant now because Prodigy is gone. You know, all them rest of them dudes that was in the clique, the infamous Mob, you know, Godfather, Gambino, Twin, all those dudes, they're good. They're good artists, but they're not enough to keep the Mobb Deep name going in terms of keeping people's interest. You know, Mobb Deep, Prodigy was Mobb Deep. You know, he was the heart and soul of Mobb Deep. And now that he's gone, it's going to be hard. You know, and this is coming from a guy that reps the neighborhood. You know, so I love all them dudes, but at the same time, none of them could hold the candle to Prodigy. You know, he was the heart. He was the infamous. He came up with that whole idea of how they should go about, you know, being a rap group. That whole style, the infamous, was Prodigy's idea. You know, and it's sad that, you know, he passed away, man. So hopefully we could get some sort of Mobb Deep album with, you know, songs from Prodigy. Let's see who else. Styles P from the Lox. He came out with an album in 2020. You know, but I like to see him get back in, you know, make another album too, because I love that Lox and that street hip hop. You know, that's a pretty good thing. But Kendrick Lamar, man, like I was saying, he's missing. I love to see him come back because he was like one of the dudes that was supposed to put hip hop back into his mode. Like, you know, we don't use the term conscious rap, but he would be the definition of conscious rap for 2021. You know, and it's a shame that he just disappeared, man. I don't know what he's up to. You know, last I heard, he was having a fit that he didn't want to make rap music no more. You know, he said he was taking a little break or protesting until something changes. Then he'll make rap music again. But I love to see a Good Kid, Mad City type part 2. You know, make something like that, get people back into it. Because Kendrick Lamar, he got the hits, he got the songs, and you know, for commercial rap, I'd rather take him more than Drake and all them other dudes. I'm not a fan of Drake. I don't like Drake hip hop. You know, I don't like none of that style of hip hop, you know, that a lot of these guys listen to, you know. As a matter of fact, when Drake was going up against Pusha T, I was liking Pusha T better because Pusha T was giving me that stuff that I like. He was talking about that stuff off the block. And that's the stuff that I could relate to. I like that Pusha T hip hop. And, you know, it is what it is, man. Maybe Pusha T come back. He disappears too. He comes back with an album like one album every 3 years. But 2320, who's your favorite artist or what do you want to see for 2021? Do you have anybody that you like to pick? You know, I'm going to put the link in here because I'm only going to be in here for about 15 more minutes. Then I'm out of here. You know, I just wanted to get that off my chest and, you know, talk about some hip hop because I was getting a little excited, man. I was listening to some Nas Illmatic. Then I said, you know what? What if we could just get hip hop back to that form again? How sweet would that be to have a bunch of unique artists, everybody hot? You know, it'll be a great time, you know. And these guys are promising us a great year of hip hop. So I hope that they could live up to it, you know. And as far as media goes, if you want to talk about movies, I ain't got no problem with the movies. I'm a big Marvel fan, so Marvel's coming out with a lot of stuff. So I'm good with that. Definitely good with that. I'm upset about T'Challa passing away, though. You know, he was Black Panther, so I don't know who we gonna get to replace him as an actor, to replace his Black Panther, man. That's gonna be hard. And you know, because he ushered a new wave in for superheroes. He made it good to be a Black superhero, and I don't think we're gonna get that right now. So it's gonna be hard to fulfill those shoes, you know. But it is. You like another D Block album, and Immortal Technique. Okay, I think I like both of those too. Another Lox album will be hot. You know, I don't know if you listen to Griselda, but Griselda is you know, probably one of the few new school rappers that make type of music that we growed up on. You know, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, and Conway the Machine. They make type of music that we could relate to and that we like. So if you could get a hold of, you know, Griselda with coming out with some hot albums, I think they are the ones that's issuing that street hip hop. And surprisingly, they come from Buffalo, New York. They don't come from one of the 5 boroughs. And for them to represent hip hop like that, it's kind of cool because they're taking us back into like the 90s when hip hop was gutter. And they got a lot of good bangers, you know, that you should listen to if you like gutter hip hop. You know, they're good at it. You know, Benny the Butcher is like, he's telling you his life story when he raps, you know, and he's telling you everything from a hustler standpoint, you know, through his eyes. And you got to love it. He stays to the format. You know how a lot of artists, you think they're this, they're that, then all of a sudden they switch their style up completely and they deviate from what they normally supposed to be. But these guys don't do that. They give you that from top to bottom. Their style is always gutter hip hop. You know, they give you that same type of hip hop that you come to know and that you're gonna like. All right, so you're not gonna be disappointed when you listen to Griselda. You know, if you don't know who those guys are, you know, check them out. You know, they're individual artists too. They make singles a lot. You know, so they got a lot of good singles out there with other artists. You could check them out too. You know, but let's see. I like to see that, like I said, The Game. I don't know if you like The Game. You know, I like Game, especially now that he patched stuff up with 50. I think that'd be good. You know, we're not gonna get another G Unit album. I liked it G Unit when it's just Lloyd Banks, 50 Cent, and Tony Yayo. You know, the original core. Not when you add all the other elements in there because it throws the group off. But when you just put those 3 guys together, you got New York City style hip hop, like early 2000 style hip hop, you know. And them dudes, they make gutter hip hop too. They make a lot of hip hop that's for the streets that you're gonna like, you know. And that's the type of stuff that I like, man. So that's my wish list right now for 2021 for hip hop. Yeah, man. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, man. We're going to keep on doing some hip hop videos, talking about hip hop. And also you can find me at Prince Sports. Okay. That's another channel, Prince Sports, all about sports all the time. I go on live. Tomorrow I'm going to be live for the Lakers versus Memphis Grizzly game. So 23:20, if you like sport, you could come to that channel and we could talk about sports too, you know. But it's late night and I figure a lot of people not up to even be talking about this type of stuff. But I just thought I'd get it out there and let people know what's up. You know, this was on my mind. I had to kill some time. So Capital P Entertainment is out for that real hip hop, unbiased, and just telling it like it is. It's a place to be. Peace, y'all.